Okay, so we are on page 5. We're really going now. All right, so for this, you're going to actually end up needing a picture of yourself. So you have a couple of options here. You can either grab a mirror that's over on by the pencils and color pencils, okay? Or what you can do is you can open up your actual iPad and just open up the camera. Okay, and face it to you and just tilt it so you can actually see yourself, okay? So you will need that later on. But for now, we're going to go over the proportions of a face, okay? So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. We're going to talk about up here first. All right, so as we can kind of see, there are certain things about a face and where they're supposed to be, okay? So first off, your face is egg-shaped. All right, you can kind of tell just by looking at the drawings over here. That's how it kind of is. All right, even if you're looking at your head, a lot of times people will make it circle, but it's really not. All right. Next, when we are looking at a face, we start off with this cross. So let's go in and let's make this right here. Okay. Now, how they start is they start by doing a circle and then an oval. Okay. Just to kind of get the shape. So we have a circle very lightly, and then we have the oval underneath. Okay, just so we can get that egg shape. Now, notice how I'm having a tough time on this side. Here is a trick, okay? One side, you're probably always going to say, you know what, I can always draw on that side. Flip your page over, all right? And you'll actually have an easier time on getting easier. See? Isn't that crazy? Okay. Yeah, so that's why we'll always find that one side we draw a little bit better than the other. All right, so we're going to start with that, and we're going to take our face, and we're going to lightly go down. We're going to lightly go across half. All right. Line helps us. Now, what's going on in this line? Believe it or not, that line is where our eyes are, okay? You may look at yourself and say, no, that's not it. Well, what happens is we actually hold our head up just a little bit. We tilt it up so we can't tell. So if we actually take our head and we tilt it down just a little bit, okay, so our head's nice and even. It's kind of like when you put a book on your head and you're trying to balance it. That's what the level we're going at. Okay? All right. So a couple other lines we're going to put in. All right? So halfway. All right? So we're going to kind of go through halfway. This is our nose. Halfway between this. It's our mouth. Okay? So these are kind of important ones. Now another line that I want us to put in is going to be our hairline. Okay? So if we can imagine that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Okay? Half here, up here. So this is a fourth. That's where our hairline actually starts. Okay? Not at the very tippy top. All right? Here. All right, so let's fill in some spaces. All right, so first thing, let's start with our eyes. So, and by the way, I'm not going over how to draw these individual. Okay, that will be next year. You'll start really refining how you do a nose, refining how you do a mouth, and all that other stuff. So this year, just do your best, okay? Okay, our eyes. Our eyes are actually, if we got gross, okay, and we took out our eyeball, okay, you'd be able to get 5 eyeballs across. And you're thinking, well, how is that possible? Well, it just is. So, best way to do this, start with the center. And this is kind of like you gotta kind of feel it out, all right? So we're gonna go a little bit, all right? And kind of like gauge it. We kind of like, you can measure it, take your pencil, say, okay, here. Oh, spot on. All right. And what am I doing with my pencil? I'm kind of like measuring to see how much I got. So this should be my edge right here. All right. Eyes. Very simple to draw them. Start with an oval, like a football. Okay. When you're looking at your iris and your pupil, okay? Iris is the black part, pupil is the color part. We tend not to see all of it, okay? So we only see a little bit. Pupil, You don't want a dot like this, because as you can see, that looks weird, okay? That means probably you have a really big headache, all right? We want to make it nice and medium, okay? And by the way, if it's too big, that's not good either, okay? That means you've probably been to the eye doctor and they dilated your pupils, okay, to see through. So nice. And they tend to be shaded, so let's just shade a little bit. All right, there we go. So we have our eyes. Next, let's put our nose. Now, noses are not these L-shaped anymore, okay? Noses actually fall. Here, let's drop the inside of this, okay? So it's about 1 eyeball wide. And we're going to make something nice and easy. We're going to do 2 parentheses, okay? And we're going to do like almost like a curvy M, all right? So we're going to have a curve and a scoop and a scoop, okay? Now some people may have a little bit, wider noses. That's okay. Absolutely fine, all right? Now you're kind of saying, well, there's no connection here. This looks weird. Well, believe it or not, all of this is shading. And if you really need something here, you can kind of draw the bridge. That's the top part of your nose right here, okay? That's really it, all right? And watch. Kind of pops out, which is pretty cool, right? Okay, still haven't done this. We're going to continue on. The mouth, all right? Now, if we just have a relaxed mouth, all right, if you take the pupils and we draw a line straight down, all the way down. I'm going to widen this because apparently I didn't go all the way. All right, your mouth actually extends all the way to that spot. Now, do we see the lips all the way through? Probably not. But the actual crease is that wide. All right, so how do we draw a nice mouth? All right, so best way to do it is you're going to kind of imagine, all right, 2 bumps. All right, so if you kind of look at your lips, you probably have like this little space. And then you probably have your lower lip. I call that with a nice oval, all right? Go from here, up, down, from here, over, around, and hey, look at that. Isn't that cool? Now, just so you know, different people have different size lips, okay? So I know someone who has a very, very small upper lip, so I'd probably make them smaller. I know some people who have very, very full lips, so these might be a little bit bigger, okay? Now, if you want to make them smile, you can curve it up at the end, all right? So far, so good, right? Yeah. Let's start working our way kind of still down. The neckline, all right? Neckline, the best way to do is kind of go where the ears are. So, well, where are the ears? Ears are by your eyes, okay, and your nose. So we're going to go here. We're going to start at where the ears are, and we're going to kind of like scoop down. That's where we're going to have a nice natural neck, okay? Now, by the way, our necks are not like down here. That's just weird. Weird, okay? They're a little wider, all right? All right, now let's work our way up. Let's go to the ears. So ears are kind of tricky, okay? I honestly can tell you, they're not my favorite things to draw, okay? I would rather draw, hands. Yeah, and hands are not that easy either first, okay? All right, so ears tend to curve like a C, okay? Now how they curve like a C, come in just a little bit and come out. Each person is different. You're going to have to check out, what does your earlobe do, okay? Does it connect straight, or do you have a lobe that is not connected? That you got to figure out, okay? Here, you got the loop up. You got this part in, and you got a loop here, okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. Here, I'll zoom in so you can actually really see, okay? Not much. That's it. Okay? You don't have to go crazy. All right. Eyebrows. All right. Oh, and by the way, if you don't normally have your ears shown because you got long hair or it's over, that's great. Then you don't have to draw them. Okay, so let's go into the eyebrows. Eyebrows. do not go and just color them in. That is not what we do. They're actually little lines. Oh, do you hear the band? Okay. And they kind of start right, kind of almost over the start of your eye. Okay. And they naturally go a little bit down. They tend to go up in a curve. Okay. Kind of like up and down. All right. Some people have them connect, like more of a straight line, and that's okay. But by the way, do not please give a solid unibrow. I have not had any students who have a complete unibrow. What is a unibrow? Eyebrows across. Okay. All right. So we have that. Let's go up to the hair. All right. So this is where this example is going to look a little different. Okay. So we're going to make this side a boy and this side a girl. Okay. So it'll be interesting. So we're going to start off. Hair tends to kind of flow out. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. It happens. My videos get interrupted. Let's go back. Okay, so we're going to have a girl. So if you're a girl, what I want you to do is I want you to kind of look at your hair. How is your hair? Is it being pulled back? What you want to do is you want to only put, you don't want to color it in. You kind of want to just put the direction of your hair. Now, hair kind of puffs out just a little bit above your headline, all right, because it's fluffy. So I'm going to put the direction of hair, all right. Your hair tends to fall across the face and down the side. Now, if you have wispies, you can put wispies. If you got curly hair, put some curls in it. But you don't need to get crazy by coloring it in, okay? You don't. Guys, well, you got to see, what is your hair, okay? They tend to come down here, okay, and curve down. Now, if you have long hair on the top, because I know I've got a couple guys who have a little bit longer hair on the top. Remember, they're a little bit thicker, and I think shorter on the side. So you put like shorter there, okay? You would have that. Also, some guys have it where you can see a little bit of hair back here, okay? They sometimes have longer hair. That would be there too, all right? So it depends on, what is your hairstyle. Okay. This side, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you're going to draw yourself, okay? And I would like it pretty big, all right? If it doesn't end up really looking like you, it's okay, all right? I just want to really make sure that you get things in where the proportions are, okay? All right, well, go ahead and either grab a mirror or go ahead and set up your iPad so you can see you. And don't forget to make sure you upload this into Seesaw when you're done.